Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are pretty much ready to proceed for a couple of days here and get our mechs and our mech warriors back, and then we are going to head back out and just see about building up some additional funding because we are attempting to work on our Argo upgrades, and we've got a long ways to go on that. So let's just be ready to pause this as soon as we are done repairing the Hunchback, which we now are. Okay, so we have 22 days before our financial report at this point. The Panther will be done before then, but we're pretty much ready to deploy right now. Let's just double check our mech bay and make sure everything's repaired. Yes, indeed it is. I don't know why I went into the store. That is not helpful. Okay, this is a blackout. We are not set up to do blackout. That is for sure. Ambush convoy. Okay. Again, we're not very set up for that. A two-skull battle with high pay. This would be risky. Not as risky as this. But maybe we should go with this. We've seen this mission briefing before, and it's never been that scary. And our Hunchback is tougher now. How much is a priority salvage costing currently? Too much. Okay, so this would be one that we'd probably want to run about here on 2.9 and 621.9. And we definitely want to bring our best pilots for this, because this is potentially a risky mission. So we should probably bring Ulysses in the stealth, I think. Okay. We should actually probably see if we can train any of these. And indeed we can.
Training complete. What are your orders, Skipper?
Coach, you can grab a point of gunnery. That is by far the most important thing. Devourer, you can grab that bandit. Wonderful. Showboat, you can grab a point of gunnery.
Ready for order.
Squire and Ulysses can, I guess, grab a point of tactics.
Training confirmed, Commander. Yes.
Okay,
Commander.
there we go. Now we'll go ahead and deploy this. And again, we are going to be leaving this on the central point, because the cost for priority salvage is just too high. And we are going to be running, again, our absolute best pilots. So we're going to have Time Lord 88 in the stealth, and Ulysses, I think, is going to go in the Vulcan here. Yeah, that should be absolutely fine. Okay. Let's see how this goes. It's certainly going to be interesting. We know that this one is probably going to be a little bit on the difficult side, but those variables are always going to be there, right? This could be incredibly easy still. It could generate just a single lance of vehicles and give us allies. Or it could generate 3 lances of mediums and heavies and give us no allies. It's hard to say. But we need to disrupt the local government reconnaissance mission. For weeks now, local government forces have been scouting territory near Capellan-controlled land. Previous surveys of this land shows nothing of interest, yet there they are. Whatever it is that they found, we don't want them to have it. Go in there and destroy them. Commander, this could be a wild goose chase. Of course, if there's nothing to find, they haven't wasted the time of their own mechs. Okay, let's see what we've got. No allies. Commander, you've arrived in the region where the enemy was last detected. Move forward and clear them out. We shouldn't let any of them get away if we can help it. Okay, so there's a support lance. We have instant contact with a fire starter. And we're in the corner of the map, or rather the edge of the map. We have so many evasive pips, but so does the fire starter, that I want to reserve and let the fire starter move first here.
Standing by.
Okay, this should do no damage. Indeed. With this number of evasive pips and us braced, yeah. Absolutely. Come on in, Firestar. He actually ran away. That's an Orion. Okay, an Orion is slightly spooky. That said, if we can get in behind him, he's not that spooky, and I would love to salvage an Orion. We're going to need some solid cover and evasion here as we close in on this guy.
Going full throttle.
We also see a Sprint Scout helicopter here, and our hit odds on that are reasonable. Let's go for this. If we hit this with the PPC, we just kill it. Straight up. There we go. Okay, that's 25% of the enemy units. We do see the Firestarter over there.
What do you need?
And I kind of want to move the Hunchy over here. We're going to be hiding from the Orion, so our evasive pips don't really matter that much. We're in cover, and we light up the Firestarter, and hopefully we do a little damage. Our hit odds aren't the best, but they're not awful. Well, heavy on the little damage.
I'm receiving you.
Okay, we'll park the Stalker right here. We are in cover. And our hit odds on the Orion are pretty good. Let's see if we can start building up some panic on him.
Target acquired.
Okay. I mean, that's some reasonable damage there. We're going to sprint our stealth up over this way.
Definitely.
And we're going to light this guy up. Once again, we are looking for panic on this guy. Okay, he moves in round 13. No damage on the Vulcan. That is good.
Waiting for orders.
We could potentially get in behind him right now with the stealth, and we are absolutely doing that. We're going to jump in here, light up this guy's rear arc. That is huge damage already.
Yep.
I'm going to leave the Hunchy exactly where it is, and we're going to fire on the Firestarter again.
Attacking from position.
Okay. That's a Hatchetman.
I mean, thanks.
Okay. Hatchetman is a little spooky, and there's also a Hunchback over there. This is definitely a bit on the tougher side. I'd love to jump in behind the Orion. Sadly, that's not really an option, and so we'll jump over here. Okay. I was really hoping that we hit that PPC. He backstabbed his friend a little bit there,
Reporting internal damage.
but that autocannon hit our CT, and that's really bad, actually. The Firestarter backed off, which we're A-okay with. We need to clean up this lance. That's a scimitar? Okay. Okay, the Orion moved in an interesting fashion there.
Standing by. Onward.
We're going to hit him side arc. And I'm okay with this.
Roger that.
Okay.
Yes.
So we now move the stealth. And the question is there anywhere we can move the stealth where we can backstab this guy while remaining relatively safe? We can get a second evasive pip. We could get a third. And that's going to have to do. Okay, he is now tagged.
Commander,
We're going to close in over here with the Vulcan.
moving out.
and this could, in theory, kill him.
Let her rip.
That's an engine crit.
How'd that taste?
He ejected. Yes! Okay. I doubt that we get enough in terms of salvage to actually get that Orion. But that's the Orion down.
I'm your spaniel.
Okay. Who does the Stalker focus on from here? I'd say the next most dangerous. I really dislike the fact that there's both a Hunchback and a Hatchetman there. That feels really bad. That hammer is not very threatening. This Firestarter is hanging back. It would be threatening if the Firestarter closed in. But I think for right now, we're most worried about this Hunchy. Hatchman closes in, does way more than I would have preferred on the stealth with those pulse lasers. And we'll see what the Hunchy does. Fires on the Vulcan doesn't do that much.
Reporting light damage.
The Firestarter set itself on fire and is firing on our Hunchy. That's fine. I'm deeply unconcerned about that. In fact, we're going to send our Hunchy up over this direction. And we are going to fire on their Hunchy, and hopefully not hit our Vulcan.
Confirmed.
Okay. Only 8 damage, but that's okay. So they're now moving their Scimitar. They did not fire.
Standing by.
So the Hunchy is facing that direction. If we go here and fire in the rear arc with the stealth, we'd want to face like this way, so that the Hatchetman would have to go as far as possible to get to rear arc. It's still possible that it gets to rear arc there. This is a little bit less possible. Still dangerous. So what if instead we went here, and then we dropped the Vulcan square in that rear arc? So that's the idea. We go there, we fire in the rear arc of this Hunchy. This could, in theory, kill it, but it's pretty unlikely with these hit odds. Yeah, as expected. Okay, the Hatchetman. Oof. Hit right in that rear center. I thought that that was going to be side arc. That was just really bad luck, was what that was. The stealth is not going to be totaled. Replacing that Engine Core 315 is going to be exciting, though. There's no doubt about that. Luckily, we'll have the Panther for a while.
All weapons fired.
Okay, the Hunchy took some damage there.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Hunchy moves now. And he's not going to fire. Fascinating. This is probably going to do some damage to our Hunchy. 10? Okay. I can live with that.
Ready for
Okay,
orders.
the Stalker is relatively safe where it's at. I wouldn't mind moving into some better hit odds, but we lose our safety if we do that.
Roger that.
Okay. The Hunchy has taken some heavy damage. Firestarter backs off again. Does some damage to our Hunchy. We don't really care.
Damage minimal.
Do we have an Engine Core 315? I'd be surprised if we do. Okay, that was a little more damage.
Crap, that shot went internal.
Really? No, they just pierced the armor. They didn't actually penetrate it. I'd like to bring the Hunchy somewhere where it can attack this Hunchy. That does not seem to exist. So instead, let's head up over here.
Copy that.
and see if we can't take out this scimitar.
Copy that.
Well, we did some damage to it anyway.
Ready for orders.
Okay. I want to get the Vulcan. Actually, I don't think we can be melee'd from here. And if we turn like this,
Jump jets.
this is probably a dead Hunchy right here. We took out the gyro, but we didn't kill it? That makes me very confused. It had like 3 hit points in its CT. Okay, no damage to our Hunchy there. Rude!
They've blown past my armor.
Yeah, I'd like to know where. That would be nice.
Barely hit, Commander.
Okay. 2 areas in the rear torso.
Standing by.
Good to know. I would like to move the Stalker back this direction. And we'll just light up the Hunchy, and hopefully we don't backstab and kill our own Vulcan. I should have thought of that.
Confirmed.
Okay, that's a shoulder destruction on the Hunchy.
Solid connection on that one. Reporting.
And we're going to come over this way
Understood.
and see about doing the same thing.
Attacking from position.
That should... That took out the shoulder.
A critical hit.
It was critical, but it wasn't critical enough.
Losing lots of...
Let's hit him hard.
Okay, who moves? An LRM boat. I think that's the hammer. That's okay. Hunchy steps away, fires on our Hunchy. I'm okay with that, too.
Oh, they don't like me at all.
Firestarter comes in. Fires on our Vulcan, doesn't really do too much.
Damage minimal.
Okay. The Hunchy's weak side is facing this way.
Aye, aye.
So let's come in and hit it from that arc. I really want this Hunchy dead. It's got like no HP in that CT. There we go.
Target destroyed.
I'm still salty that we lost the stealth to a super lucky shot with the melee. That structure exposure really rather sucked.
Weapon system down.
Once again, everything hitting that same arm. Wait a second. Where was that ER medium laser? I think it was in this arm.
Yes, Commander.
Okay. We need to close in a little bit on this hatchetman if we can.
Rolling.
And do as much damage as absolutely possible here. We got a head hit there.
Standing by.
We're just going to come in directly behind him with the Vulcan
Copy that.
and see about hitting him rear arc.
Acknowledge.
That was unlucky. Okay, the hammer's firing on the Vulcan. We don't care.
Light damage, Commander.
Our turn. So we get to move the Hunchy and the Vulcan before this guy moves his hatchetman. So we're going to close in like this.
Move. I'm taking the shot.
Man, that's not going well.
Waiting for orders.
It's not going well at all. Luckily, our hit odds on the Vulcan are super good now, and we could, in theory, kill him here.
Locking.
Oh, we missed the PPC on an 80% chance. That's really bad, actually. I was counting on that hit. Well, we still get to move our stalker, but there's no way that our stalker takes out that hatchetman here, I think. Yeah, there's basically none. We could take out the hatchet, potentially.
Lock and loaded. Here it comes.
We did not. Fires on the Vulcan and does a lot. Uh-huh.
My mech is coming apart around me.
Like I said, I was really counting on that PPC hit.
Aye, aye.
Well, we'll take the Hunchy up over here.
Position confirmed.
And these hit odds are garbage. Those are worse? Okay. We did 4 damage. Disgusting. Can I please move the Vulcan?
Critical.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna jump him and face him this actually, more like this direction, I think. I want to be actually this way. I'm concerned about the Firestarter hitting this rear arc. That said, we do have some HP for it. Actually, if we jump here, well, the Firestarter could still get in arc, but it's less likely.
Roger that.
No damage. Excellent.
Damn it.
We'll see what the Hatchetman does here. Fired on the Vulcan. And it took out the leg. That really sucks.
Ah, you bastards.
That really sucks, actually. We've been getting such bad luck with that targeting. It's kind of insane.
Location.
Gonna back off with the Stalker here. No crit luck.
Target.
Of course not.
Hit.
Wonderful.
This is trouble.
Okay. Scimitar backs off.
I'm receiving you.
The Stalker gets to go again here. And we're going to continue pouring fire into this Hatchetman. I'd love to get an AC-10 ammo explosion. We crit the engine there,
Critical hit, Commander.
but the Hatchetman still gets to go. It fired on the Hunchy. Took out a couple of heat sinks.
Critical hit. Bad one, I think.
Ow.
Ah, damn it! I took one in the meat.
Well, there goes most of our heat sinks on our Hunchy. All because we just can't hit this Hatchetman here.
Internal damage.
Or at least we can't hit it in a useful manner.
Acknowledged.
Yeah, this is just not helpful.
Good to
The damage that we have on it.
I'm up.
Indeed you are.
Go.
Let's get you up over here. And we'll see about hitting this Hatchetman from this angle.
Targeting for now.
Well, we actually hit with the PPC for once. But it still wasn't enough to destroy that arm. Okay.
Systems. Holding.
And there's still that hammer out there. I mean, it did very little damage there.
Minimal damage on that hit.
I'm here.
I kind of want to pull the Hunchy somewhere more useful. I mean, we need to turn, right? But we also don't want to. I think we'll have to go over here.
Roger.
And we'll have to vigilance. And tear into this guy from this flank.
Attacking from position.
There we go. It's finally done. Now we need to deal with the support lance.
Mech destroyed.
That main lance was a tough one.
Orders?
Okay, so we're going to move up over here. It is, however, time to put a cut in, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see about dealing with this support lance. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time, when hopefully we have an Engine Core 315. That would be useful.